And one would say, if you don't want to be attacked by the United States, you ought to have nuclear weapons, which is a sad state of affairs for that to be the world diplomacy, and for the peace president of the United States now to have severely, severely damaged the civilian infrastructure of Iran, a country, Trump said we're bombing it back to the Stone Age. Well, in the Stone Age.
So this Sky News Australia clip went kind of viral. They invited a war expert, Anne Wright, thinking that she was pro-America, pro-war, but they didn't expect her to say this. So let's watch the clip and I'll save my commentary for the end.
Well, let's get back to our top story now. And these are the continuing developments, the troubling developments out of Iran, which is, as we know, showing no sign of slowing down. Joining us live now, the former US Army Colonel, State Department official Anne Wright. She's there with us. Anne, thanks for your time this morning. So the war's ending. Now it's going back to the Stone Ages. Where do you think we are at this hour?
Well, I think it's a pretty stupid thing that Trump and this administration has done to blow up a country like Iran. They say thousands, I think it's 7,000 missile attacks on Iran. Supposedly the danger from Iran was coming from its potential nuclear weapons. Of course, the Iranians have said they would never, ever have a nuclear weapon, and they haven't so far. Trump in his first administration threw out the JCPOA, and then now following the lead of Israel, where the U.S. now is the lapdog of Israel, the United States have mounted a horrific set of attacks, 30 days of attacks on Iran. And sadly, I think the U.S. will pay for this in many, many ways.
Iran was certainly heading towards nuclear, though. Isn't the world safer and better off with that taken out of the picture?
Well, it always has had this nuclear program, and it was under inspection and observation through the JCPOA that Trump threw away. And nuclear inspectors had been back into it. There was no evidence that there was a movement toward nuclear weapons, but of course you always have to wonder that. And one would say, if you don't want to be attacked by the United States, you ought to have nuclear weapons, which is a sad state of affairs for that to be the world diplomacy, and for the peace president of the United States now to have severely, severely damaged the civilian infrastructure of Iran, a country, Trump said we're bombing it back to the Stone Age. Well, in the Stone Age, there was a vibrant society in Iran where there was no society to speak of other than the Stone Age in many other parts of the world. So what they're doing in destruction of a sovereign country, of a country with huge, huge historical impact and cultural impact on our world is terrible.
It's also been conducting terrorist attacks and terror-related activities over recent years, either through itself or through its proxies. Did that not need to be checked?
Well, it can be checked. But you definitely don't need to just blow up a whole country over it. I mean, if you want to target certain elements of international efforts by other countries, then you target those efforts, but you just don't blow up a country. One could argue that the United States does terrorist things, for example, kidnapping the head of state of Venezuela and his wife, threatening the leadership of another country, Cuba. I mean, once you start on this horrific destruction of huge, huge civilian infrastructure of any country, as we saw in Iraq, it doesn't lead anywhere good. And I would hope that my country at some stage will find that war is not the answer, that continued negotiations and things like the JCPOA are ways that you resolve issues rather than wholesale destruction of other countries.
The problem is these other countries, they're not interested in resolving issues, whether it is Iran or whether it is Venezuela that you're talking about, which is a hotbed of getting drugs into the United States.
Well, no, Venezuela is not a hotbed of that. And if you look at what the court things are right now against Maduro, much of what they were talking about earlier about, large-scale movement of drugs and like that, that's not it. There are other countries that certainly are. that are moving drugs into the U.S. because the U.S. has a drug problem. I mean, if we could solve our own drug problem, that would eliminate a lot of the gangster drug problems that we have in the world. I mean, our own countrymen and women, the users of so much of that drugs, are causing instability throughout the Americas, from South and Central America all the way up into North America.
All right, Anne, we will leave it there. Thank you so much for your time.
That is crazy. This man, like, who invited this lady? He has used up all his talking points, and he had no idea what's going on. She was just smiling at the end, knowing that she got him. Like, that's crazy. But that is true. I mean, war is not the best way to go about it. You have to negotiate and you have to talk, because violence doesn't solve anything. It's just more people dying, and it's more chaos all over the world, and it affects everybody. So I hope this, now they say that there's a ceasefire, so I hope this ceasefire holds, and we can negotiate, and then they can make an agreement, and that's great for the whole world. I mean, nobody wants war in this time of, like, in the 2026 now. So, and the people who won war is just, these are people that should be shut down and not be allowed to get their points across, but to continue these non-stop wars. But that's it for this one, and thanks for watching. And if you find this to be insightful and you want to support the channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.